See the red dot and top.
Yeah.
We're
Are
here
we
now.
live? Are we live? Yeah, yeah, man. Friday night. Um, freezing ice cold Friday night in New York City. Um,
Oh, it's good where I'm
Nick,
at, y'all. It's good where I'm at, y'all. I go outside with my short sleeves and pair of shorts.
yo, I'm so jealous. It don't even make that. Listen. I'm so over this New York City weather, bro.
Yo, OG, what was the weather like in Vegas?
Oh, it was perfect. I ain't gonna lie. At night it went down to like 40s, but like 50s, 60s.
Uh-huh.
So like a good sweatsuit.
Okay.
My type of weather where like it was like 60s, but at night it definitely got a little chilly.
Okay.
But it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful out there. Yeah,
Yeah, not
yeah.
that
But
freezing shit y'all got right now in New York City. It's
man,
different.
this week, yeah, tomorrow Sunday gonna be real cool. I think Sunday the high might be like 20. Like tomorrow
Mm.
tonight is going down to 20. Like yeah, it's getting there.
I was in Chicago. You know, I was in Chicago last week for work. And
How was that?
nah. The 2 days I was there was the coldest days of the year, they said. 13 degrees
Yeah,
felt like -1. I was like, oh,
yeah,
nah. I'm cool.
yeah.
I'm cool.
See, New York. It's cold, but we ain't getting nothing too crazy. So, we
Nah.
hoping no crazy snow. January is basically here. So, we really only got January and February. So if we could kind of get through January, not too crazy, then we're gonna have a beautiful winter. You know,
Might get through it.
yeah, because we definitely got had a winters where it's 10 degrees.
Yeah.
So
Did y'all get snow last year?
yeah, but nothing crazy. Like I said, it's like even up to now, it's sweet. By
Uh-huh.
now, remember Christmas is next week. So by now we would have had something. So, now that it's staying in the 30s, even the upper 20s, but mid 30s, to me, that's not even cold compared to how things could be and used to be. But,
Mhm.
you know, yeah, man. But
Yeah,
let's get right to it.
all you had to do
Good.
was wipe the screen off. It's looking
Listen,
it's
man.
like, yo, nah.
I was wiping the other side.
Yo, OG, all you had to do was wipe the front. Your shit is crispy.
It better be for this brand new phone. Listen, man. Let's get right to it. Knicks rehab.
Just
Our brother Fabian, has some things to do, but y'all stuck here with Billy Hoyle and what
it's
was
Sidney Dean.
and Sidney Dean, right? Listen, man, Nick Rehab, All Ball TV, we are in the building. Y'all know Fabian, he's here in spirit, but he's doing well. Everything is great. We got my brother to the left of me. He might be to the right of y'all. Are we live? Not the little one. We have no drops. The
My
greatest
guy,
editor in the world left us. And this is your guy, All Ball, the maniac, right?
the maniac. Yo, King Speech. He's load managing. He's load managing today.
Yeah. We spoke to Adam Silver. We having a meeting with him tomorrow. Yes, we are trying to stop the low managing. He shot so many threes yesterday. Now he's tired and out of breath. Flea, how you feeling today?
I'm
Well,
good,
tonight, my
man.
brother.
I'm good. Happy Friday to everybody. I'm happy to be here. Feeling good about last night. You know, great W by the New York Knicks. Statement
Um,
win by the New York Knicks. Go ahead. Get us where we need to be, OG. Get us where we need to be.
so last night, y'all know we diehard Knicks fans. Knicks versus Minnesota at home. First game against Julius Randle. Cat back home. His first game against his former team, Minnesota. His former teammate, Ant-Man. Some of y'all consider top 5, top 10 in the NBA today. I think he's taking a step back. We're going to discuss that. He also has some words after the game. I just seen, he basically said, we have no identity.
Mhm.
He said, they know I'm going to shoot the ball. They know Drew, which is Julius Randle, is going to shoot the ball, and that's it. So before we get to that, Flea, please, I want to hear your opinion on last night. What did you like? If there was anything you disliked, but just overall, how did you feel about the blowout win against the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Man, I first of all, I did not think we was gonna blow them out. So, you know, I said last night on Knicks Rehab, if we like that, let's go out there and thump them.
Right.
That's exactly what we did. Um, we played for Karl Anthony Towns last night. Without Josh Hart, Cat really allowed the game to come to him. It didn't seem like he was like on a revenge tour like Julius Randle was. Like Julius Randle started the game out hot. They were kind of playing through him. It kind of seemed like Chris Finch, the coach, was trying to like make a statement for Julius. Like, we're going to get this win against your former team and let you go off. And that's not what they do, right? Anthony Edwards is the best player over there. So you really got to go through him, not through Julius Randle.
Right.
I just think we play phenomenal. We play great defense. We got a bunch of contributions from everybody. Deuce came off the bench, 16 points. Mikal Bridges, 29 points last night. Big, efficient, hitting big shot after big shot, right? I thought my man Jaden McDaniels did a really good job on Jalen Brunson last night, defended him.
Right.
But, Jalen didn't force it. He did everything he could to get everybody involved. And then, our big fella, 30 and 20 last night, just really, really set the tone. Really is continuing to put people on notice that I'm a big cat now, not the little cat no more. No pun intended.
Hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
Please, she's in the building.
She's in the building.
Everyone, please give a big good evening, a big hello to the beautiful, the lovely, the sexy, the extravagant Miss Darlene Bryant is in the building. Listen,
big shout out to Darlene.
We gotta show love to the ladies. So please, everybody in the building, man, in that chat, say hi to Miss Darlene Bryant. Always a pleasure when she pulls up in the building. That is a fact.
That's a fact.
But go ahead, Flea. I'm sorry. We always gotta shout her out.
Yeah, of course. I just thought it was, like you said yesterday, this is a bigger win for us than it would have been for Minnesota, right? Cat going back there, spent 9 years there. Right. They gave him a good tribute. But we got the W. That's the big piece for me. We got the W, and the best player on the floor last night was Karl-Anthony Towns. So I'm happy about the win. I think this could be something that we like build on. Like I was saying yesterday, as long as we continue to build on this, like you said, continue to beat good teams that people consider the best of the best. Minnesota was in the Western Conference Finals last year. So to go into their gym and thump them like that, represent for Cat, I thought it was major. And big shout out to the Knicks, man. I was happy about last night.
Yes, man. Listen, he's part of the family, man. Got to give a shout out to King Speech RO 3743. He got that green check, so we always got to show love.
Big shout out to King Speech.
Right, but I'm me. I'm gonna find a reason to be upset about something, right?
You texted me last night too. I bet you it's what it. Go ahead.
I'm mad we ain't beat them by 50. That's what I wanted. So I'm mad that when we was up 36, Cat was still in the game, and I was like, "Chid, you playing a little dangerous." But then when he brought in, the reserves, the guys off the bench, we kind of slipped up a little bit. Minnesota caught a little run, but they only cut it down, I think 20 or something, 23. But I'm just a little upset that we didn't blow them out by 50. But let me say this, and everybody in the chat, please, I want y'all opinion. Tom Thibodeau, something happened last night without him acknowledging it. Josh Hart not playing last night. What we've always been saying, Tim's got to figure out a way to shake it up. Listen, Precious Achiuwa, Huck, or Sims. You need to start one of them every game, even if it's only the first 3-4 minutes.
13 and 10 from Precious last night.
But Fleet,
from Precious
now
last
Fleet,
night.
Look how good Bridges looks when he's the starting two guard. This is why Mitchell Robinson is so important. This is why it's so important for Cat to be able to slide to that 4 position. Mm-hmm. It's so much pressure taken off of him because now he has a guy that way he ain't really got to worry about the defense. He ain't got to worry about getting all the rebounds. And now we got a guy like Josh Hart that will come off the bench. And remember, he can still get starter minutes. So I think that's something that we can talk about in the future. Because when Mitchell Robinson come back and hopefully when he's fully healthy, we got to figure out what's going to be the starting 5 lineup. But I'm ecstatic about last night. I didn't take the game that serious until Julius Randle started like trying to play bully ball in the first quarter, trying to throw his weight around. And I'm just like, okay, it's time to watch this game. And I'm not gonna lie, we started off a little slow at first, like how we always do, but we got things in order. And what we realized and what Brunson realizes, and this is what makes him a leader, but he has to start getting it together. He can't continue to just struggle like this. But Cat is the best player on the team, and that's what we got to go through. Simple and plain.
I'm
Simple and
not.
plain. Um, People got to start putting respect on Cat's name. The whole world. Because if this was on another team, I guarantee y'all people would be yelling MVP.
Mhm.
15, 16 straight double doubles, leading the league in rebounds. Um, I think him and Giannis, and with the Knicks, this is the first time, and I don't know how long we're back to back 2020 games.
Mhm.
Just
First time since Bob McAdoo in
thank you,
'78.
thank you,
Yep.
thank you. So for me, I'm just ecstatic because where's the idiots that said they would have made this trade because we had to throw in DiVincenzo? Me and Flea was the only guys that was up here going, let me explain something to y'all. No, not to
Goodbye.
him.
Goodbye.
Right. He's not
Goodbye.
even a starter. He's not no starter in the league. Good guy coming off the bench, but have you seen her?
They're struggling right now. That
Ba,
whole
ba,
team. That
ba,
whole
ba.
team is
Have you
struggling.
seen her? Tell me, have you seen her? Ah, You lucky. You lucky. I can't remember the words, but the point is, man. That was a big win for us against a fully healthy, good Minnesota team with a legit superstar. That people consider one of the best in the league. Fleet, your opinion on let's go to the Minnesota side. Your Ant Man. Last 2 years you were successful.
Mhm.
Last year you was in the Western Conference Finals. Last 2 years up until right now, you was considered maybe being the face of the league.
Mhm.
Right now today, you're Anthony Edwards. What's your thought process so far this season?
Well, I'm starting to ask questions about the direction of where the team is going. I can understand that I'm a young player. I got plenty of time to grow and still get to the peak of my powers. But as chill as the kid looks, he's smart. He's charismatic. He has a competitive fire in him, right? So I don't think he lacks maturity, which is why I think this is a great question because now if he's looking around, okay, y'all traded my second best player after we made it to the Western Conference Finals. We've taken a significant step back on the offensive end side of the ball because they still the best defense this month of December. Minnesota has the best defense in the NBA in terms of defensive rating. They have the best
Right,
defense, but
right.
they can't figure it out in terms of in terms of getting that offense together. Uh, if I'm him, I start asking them to start shaking some things up. If y'all are gonna move Cat, then fire the coach, get me a better coach, move Rudy, get me something for like if y'all are gonna move Cat, start like blow the whole shit up and let's start from scratch. Right? They got Tim Connolly. He's not the GM that's gonna like break it all the way down and create a lottery team. And now you got to start all the way over. He's gonna try to like rebuild as opposed to retool as opposed to rebuild. So, but if I'm him, I got to start talking. Yo, we might need a new voice in the locker room. Who's out there? Yo, Rudy Gobert looks like he's in playoff mode already, and we're not even at the All-Star break. Yo, what can we get from it? There's some stuff that they got to do, and he's right. The only thing that's guaranteed, he's going to take a bunch of shots, and Julius Randle's going to take a bunch of shots. That's it.
So, uh, great points. But you know me, I jumps out the window. Right now, I'm in Ant Man shoes. I'm having a real like for one, I'm calling a meeting with the organization, the
Mhm.
owner, the GM, and the coach, all the important people. I need the owner there. Because we realize it's not that simple as requesting a trade or wanting to leave because he can literally make probably close to $1 billion staying there,
Mhm.
right? But now this is where it goes. What are y'all doing? Y'all really traded Cat for what? For what? Because and I'm reading the chat. Okay, Julius Randle don't stay. Let's be realistic. Who's signing up to go to Minnesota? And for all that, I signed him to go to San Antonio to play with Wemby.
Wemby. Yeah.
So, like, let's be realistic. Big shout out Starberry, Stephon Marbury, New York City's finest, legend. He broke it down as far as Minnesota. So nobody's jumping to go to Minnesota, Flea. Right? The NBA, everybody's getting money, so the money ain't gonna be a problem. If I'm Ant-Man, I'm requesting a trade. And I will respect the owners to let them know ahead of time. Get what y'all can get. Because when I can go, I'm out of here. Minnesota made the biggest mistake since not knowing what to do with Kevin Garnett and putting the right pieces around him. Because we seen when he went to Boston, totally different player. Even though he was great in Minnesota.
Oh, he was great in Minnesota, but just
look at that
you
fire.
You put great players around him, you win a championship. Yeah.
A Fleet, does it look like deja vu? You put Cat in the whole situation. Now he's a totally different player in a better way.
Look,
Minnesota jumped the gun.
Look, Kevin Garnett, Kevin Love, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards. Now I'm naming all lottery pick guys that they've had in their organization, and they just can't.
Two number ones. Remember, Anthony Edwards number one.
Number one. Cat
number one.
Number one. Kevin Garnett, what, top 5 pick if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Kevin Love, top 10 pick.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken. So they haven't figured out, and I know it's a tough place to play. I know it's a tough place to build. But if you get that type of player in there, that cornerstone piece, you get a cornerstone piece like Garnett, cornerstone piece at the time like a Love. They drafted Andrew Wiggins. Well, Cleveland drafted him, but they traded for him.
Traded him, number 1 pick.
Right. They traded Love for him. Right now, you get the number 1. So, like, there's got to be some level of competency with ownership and that team, but they just know how to fuck shit up all the time, and they fucking it up again by pissing away a great opportunity by a player. Like, if we think about it, how do we rank all of these players? OG, Kevin Garnett, Cat, Love.
Right, hold on, Fleet, real quick. We got the beautiful Latoria B in the building. Laturia. Listen, everybody, when the beautiful ladies come in the building, please show them love. Say what's up to them. The beautiful, the lovely, the sexy. Latoria B. Good evening, beautiful. Thank you for tuning in with us.
Appreciate you.
Now, Fleet, that's a great question. You saying, how would we rank them?
How would you rank at their peaks? And obviously, Anthony Edwards is not there yet, but at their peaks, Ant-Man, Kevin Garnett, Love, Cat, Wiggins, 1 through 5. How do we rank them, guys?
That's a great question. I'm going Garnett. I'm going Cat. I'm going Love. Then I'm going Ant-Man. Then I'm going Wiggins. Yeah, because I think when that draft Wiggins was in, they had no choice but to take him. I don't think he was a number 1 overall pick. But before we gloat and brag about our Knicks, right? Minnesota. So y'all had y'all Kevin Garnett and Stephon Marbury all over again. Minnesota got caught into something.
Steph was a top 10 pick. Excuse me. Disrespect.
Right, exactly.
Excuse me, Steph. Right. Steph was a top 10 pick.
So think about this, Flea. And me and you've been so adamant about this. And I hope one day when we meet Cat, he understands like how much we supported him. That Cat is soft shit needs to be thrown out the window. And I think Minnesota got caught up into that. How do you have two number 1 picks and you don't know how to build around them? You have Cat and you have Ant-Man. This is where we got to put our basketball minds to the test. And I know your basketball mind is, pause. Can Ant-Man be to blame for some of this?
Tell me more. Expound on that a little bit.
Okay,
how are you thinking about that? Because I don't want to jump out there. I want to understand.
So I like Ant-Man. And for years now, Flea. How long have y'all been rooting for him?
I've
And
been,
like I
I've been his biggest supporter. You know that.
and who has the only person that's always been giving pushback? Like I'm not ready to let
Yeah,
him, SGA, none of them
for
guys get
sure,
there yet.
for sure.
As great as Ant-Man is, he's not ready to be the number one dog. I think Cat is a better basketball player than him. And what Brunson is doing is what Ant-Man should have did. Defer. You have a 1-2 punch. Uh, now I know that's going to be difficult, but you have a 7-footer that's probably the best big man at the 3-point shot ever. We all now see he's not as soft as everybody's making him out to be. He can play basketball. He can average a double-double. He can get buckets. How, do, how does that happen if you're the franchise? How do they have that trade behind your back in the dark?
Yeah, there's a couple things I think that's going on right now with Cat. First of all, he's in New York City. Like he's taking on the fabric of the city, the attitude, the
But
grit,
but
all
hold on,
that.
Fleet. But hold on, Fleet. Just real quick. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But forget the New York part because a lot of people, was actually saying Cat is soft, Cat ain't all that. It's a terrible trade. And then once Ant-Man made that leap, people just threw Cat to the side. So what I'm saying is I don't want to blame it on Ant-Man, but it's like, yo, bro, you could have fought for Cat to stay there. Was he all right with Cat leaving and now regretting it?
So I think it probably has a lot to do with money. Like I said, the business of basketball comes into play. If you that good of a team, right? You on the cusp of going to the championship.
Look who in the building. Sugar. We ain't see him in a long time. Sugar man, what's up, man? Listen. Yeah, you see us. We getting it
We
together.
on
Hold on.
we on your heels. We on
We
your
listen,
heels.
Flea, I ain't saying pause. We on y'all ass, nigga.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
on y'all.
yeah, but go ahead, Flea. I'm sorry. Big
Yeah,
shout
nah.
out Sugar Man.
I just think there was a business decision that had to be made in Minnesota, and they didn't think about the basketball part of it. Do I think that they asked Ant-Man if they're okay with trading Karl Anthony Towns? Sure, I do. But I think Ant-Man was pretty adamant on if y'all trade him, you got to get me back an all-star. You can't trade him away for pieces. And they completed that by bringing back a multiple-time all-star in Julius Randle. I just don't think it's the best fit. I don't think it's the best fit. Do I think that they should have played through Cat last year or the last couple of seasons since Anthony Edwards has been in the league? I don't agree with that. I think Anthony Edwards' ceiling is higher than Karl Anthony Towns is. When it's all said and done, I think Anthony Edwards is going to be a better player than Cat. Right now, at this stage of their career, who's better? I think Cat is probably giving you a lot more right now than what Anthony Edwards can give you. But when it's done, Anthony Edwards might be one of the best shooting guards we've ever seen, my opinion.
Wow.
That's a lot of basketball to be played until that's determined.
Now,
But I think so.
no. Let's stay there because that's what we do on here. Let's have that discussion real quick, and we can save it for a later date. But I want to tap into that real quick. Let's say Ant-Man plays another 10 years. I don't care where he plays, whether he stays in Minnesota or he goes all over the place. Ant-Man plays another 10 years. No MVPs, no scoring titles, no finals, maybe no finals appearances. You still would feel the way you feel?
No.
Now,
Because
Flea.
everything is all encompassing. You gotta have some
Now,
winning in there. You gotta have some
right.
individual accolades in there. You gotta have some moments.
Now watch this. Stay right there. Stay right there. You knowing the game how you know it. Very intelligent. I'm not saying that because you're my brother. Seeing Ant-Man right now having a team to himself, do you see that in the future? Him winning multiple titles and MVPs and
multiple titles, MVPs.
well,
I could see.
not multiple. I'm just saying, do
I
you
could
see him
see.
winning
I
the
could see.
title?
I could see him potentially being the best player on the championship team. Yes, I could see that. I think that there's some growth that needs to happen, right? There needs to be a balance. This dude went from taking 5, 6, 7 threes a game. He takes like over 10 threes a game now. He's a part of that wave of like falling in love with
We going to get into that later.
right,
Yes.
like with the 3-point shot and all that. So I just think all the tools that he has at his position, he can be one of the best players in the league. He shoots the ball well. He gets downhill, isolation, creates for others. Or he's starting to create for others. He plays defense at his spot. He has a big body. Like I think he has all the tools, and then off of it, the charisma that he has, the competitiveness. He has all the tools. He just got to put it together. Last night should have been his night. If they want to win that game, you play through Anthony Edwards and Julius. You get in the flow and get yours when you get yours. Don't worry about trying to make a statement to the Knicks. And I think that's what we did. We started the game off a little sluggish, saw what was working, saw what wasn't working, saw how they was defending us, and then Cat got into a rhythm, and then we rode that rhythm, obviously getting contributions from everywhere else. So, yeah, his decision-making, right? Knowing when to go, knowing when not to go. That's all youth. I think he got time, but I would have to agree he's not there yet.
I'm gonna say this. Great points, but it's hard for me. See, Ant-Man is gonna have a problem because there's a guy over there on the East that, in my opinion, is a better two guard than him, Donovan Mitchell. That gets no love. Whether you think he's better or not, he's right there. So I think Ant-Man, I think the way his career is going, for him to be successful, he's gonna realize he's not a number one. Does he have the talent to be a number one? Okay, I agree to that. But Kyrie has all the talent in the world. Can Kyrie be the number one guy to lead you to an NBA championship?
No.
Right. So I think Ant-Man is in that same category where he's going to have to
go
ahead.
So hold on, OG. They beat Dallas in the Western Conference Finals. They beat Boston in the NBA Finals. Who's the best player on the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Probably Ant-Man.
Okay.
Probably Ant-Man.
I just wanted to see where you was gonna go with that.
Yeah, sure,
okay.
But the reason why I'm
and that's a lot of
with,
ifs, y'all. I get it. A lot of ifs. That's a lot. So,
but I'm going there with that because that's how Minnesota set it up. My opinion, they left Cat on the island by himself. The organization made it clear, Fleet, we going with Ant-Man.
But what if Cat, you talking about a number one pick, a guy that was there for a decade. What if Cat was conscious enough to say, yo, this kid is special. I'm going to take the back seat. Let's play through him. What if that was a lot of Cat saying too?
I hear you. I don't think that's what it was. Okay. I just think,
He's been doing a lot of losing, OG.
Yeah. Listen.
Most success he's had was last year.
Right. But how many guys in their first, all right, he was in Minnesota for 9 years. He had Ant-Man how many years?
4.
Right. They just starting to cook.
Mm-hmm.
Like how long was Garnett in Minnesota? They made it to 1 Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, but it's been weird because wasn't Anthony Edwards a part of that COVID draft? Like he got drafted
right.
At the crib. Like it was weird the last few years.
But what I'm saying is, to me, Ant-Man, Cat never had a good team. Now you're able to get a guy through the draft. That's a legit star. Probably, like you said, one of the best two guards in the NBA. You have to keep them guys together. Look how long it takes for some players to win championships.
Yeah.
Look how long the Joker was in the league before he got to the promised land. LeBron, they can go all the way back to Mike in them 7, 8, 9 years.
Sure.
So I think Minnesota jumped the gun. They panicked. And, I think they said, we got Ant-Man, we good. And not realizing how good Cat was.
Yes.
How many of us have things right under our nose and let it go? and don't understand how good it was. Then when they go, you go, now look at Cat. There's no way in the world you can't tell me Minnesota right now is saying, wow, we could definitely use that right now. You cannot tell me when Ant-Man had that talk with the Minnesota front office and he said, if y'all gonna trade Cat, make sure y'all get me an all-star. He did not have in mind Julius Randle. I'm gonna say it again, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
It's nowhere in the world when Ant-Man said, okay, if y'all gonna get rid of Cat, whatever reason for money, whatever, okay, I'm the number one guy. Y'all think Cat is getting in my way, and I can take the reins, okay, but y'all gotta get me an all-star. It's nowhere in the world you gonna tell me he had in mind Julius Randle, bro.
Julius Randle.
It's nowhere in the
That's
world.
probably not the player he was thinking about.
So, I mean, like I said, throughout the season, we're gonna be talking about this a lot, but they taking a major step back. And I think Ant-Man, his legacy, with Minnesota it shows in their history, Flea. They're not able
Like
to maximize on great players.
like I said, man, big shout out to my brother Dallas. Dallas has been saying for the last 2 years, yo, Fleek, Ant-Man gone. He's
Bro,
gone. He's not staying
listen,
there. And I'm like, I don't know. He's like, yo, bro, he's not staying there.
hear me out. LeBron will be gone in another year or two. LA is going to be wide open for a superstar to go there. It's still the Lakers.
Still
However,
late.
people want to feel it, it's still the Lakers. Now imagine Ant-Man in LA. That's stardom. You don't think guys are thinking about that? So Minnesota's in big trouble, and I think they shot themselves in the foot. Okay, you let Cat go, but then you bring a guy in that, let's be realistic. It doesn't work.
It's
It
it's
doesn't work, and it's
it's a
not going to
different
work.
type of basketball. It's a different type of flow. The same clunkiness that we had issues with in New York are the same issues you're gonna have with Julius Randle. It's just a flow. Julius is not a bad player. It's not an indictment on Julius. He's just a different type of player that it's not gonna work out with playing next to Anthony Edwards. But last thing before we segue, um, we've been talking about the Knicks and defense. You
Nigga
know,
call me Kick Capri. Hey, VINYC, go to hell, man. Go ahead, don't flee.
Knicks third in the league in defense this month for the month of December. We've been talking about Bridges. We've been talking about OG. We've been talking about getting on the string in terms of defense. Minnesota, OKC, and then the Knicks for the month of December. So we figuring some things out. I like what we doing. I like it.
Well, before we segue, Flea, let's give our Knicks some props. Like I said, this Knicks rehab. We opened up the show boasting and bragging about our Knicks, but probably not enough. I just want to get, your quick thoughts on how we look with Josh Hart out of the lineup, and your thoughts on Mikal Bridges last night. Because remember, we've been tough on him. I know I have. And this is the reason why. Because we know the potential. We brought you over here for games like last night. We didn't bring you over here to be shy, timid, to look like you lost. So your opinion on how did the Knicks look last night, and how can we use this game in a positive way to move forward?
I mean, now it lets us know that guys will step up in the absence of somebody that I said is irreplaceable, right? Like I think Josh Hart, I'm standing on that. I'm not moving off of that. But the fact that
You know my response to that though, right?
he
Game
is,
seven. Game 7. Indiana at home. They all could have been replaceable that night. Even
we
my
were
guy.
depleted. We were depleted.
All right,
But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, just the confidence that Mikal Bridges played with last night. How Deuce McBride shot the ball last night. What Precious Achua did, that double-double last night. Like that all made up for things that Josh Hart does. He rebounds. He can score in transition. He's averaging over 5 assists a game. Like we got it collectively from some guys that we have to rely on. Mikal Bridges was super efficient last night, hitting open shots, and then it's catapulting his defense. He was out there flying around, looked great, out there on Ant-Man. They had OG on Julius. Like, we really looked good last night on the defensive end. So it does let me know that we could have a different look without Josh Hart. If we need Josh Hart to go to the bench when we get Mitchell Robinson back, that could be something we can do. And because of the play that Josh Hart is, I know that's not going to be a problem, right? It's not going to be like we're going to have to convince him to come off the bench. He's a team guy. If this is what works, because we looked great last night. Not good. We looked great last night. So if we can build on this and just continue to be who we are defensively, be one of the best offensive teams in the league, how are we not contenders? How can you not say that we may be one of the last 4 teams standing, one of the last 2 teams standing? We could be a finals team if we're really looking at it.
Now, big shout out Teak Sports and Boxing. Big shout out everybody in the chat, man. Cause y'all listen, man. Y'all showing up for us. Y'all know we short a guy, and listen, man. Y'all are keeping us up. But Teak Sports and Boxing is just said something that is 100% correctly, and this is where Tom Thibodeau has to put his coaching hat on. This is where the tough decisions and being a smart coach comes in play. When Mikal and OG is playing their right positions, Bridges at the 2, OG at the 3, not Bridges at the 3, OG at the 4, we become dangerous.
Mhm.
And this is where, like you said, and I always go back to this is what makes Steve Kerr a great head coach. Now, at times he looks overrated, but he went to Golden State and he had to talk with Iguodala, and that changed that franchise. Now, we know the Splash Brothers flee, Clay, Curry, Draymond, and we know, you can't forget guys like Bo. It's West. It's so many guys that Sean Livingston that had something to do with that success. But the key part that nobody talks about enough is Steve Kerr discussing with Iguodala to come off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget, Iggy was an offensive monster. Let's not forget that. Tom Thibodeau will have to have that discussion with Josh Hart. Look how good we look when you have a legit big man next to Cat. So my thing is, we got 3. We got Sims, we got Huck Purdy, we got Precious. You don't have to start one every game. You could mix it up. But if we could continue to have Bridges at the 2, OG at the 3, and everybody's playing their rightful positions, Flea, we're going to be a problem for everybody. But that's a coaching thing. What's your thoughts on that?
But I think that can start, right, an identity for us. What were we talking about yesterday? All the teams play the same. Everybody wants to match what the other team is doing. We go out and get Bridges and OG because Boston got Tatum and Brown, and we need some niggas out there to be able to defend them. Rightfully so, but let's play our style. Let's play our style. We ain't got to play somebody else's style. We could do what works for us.
Right.
If having Bridges at the 2, OG at the 3, Cat playing his natural position at the 4, and we have a 5, whether that's Mitch, Precious, Sims, Huck.
Come on.
Like, that's deep at that position now. Now you got
Thank
a lot
you.
of bodies to throw out there. Rebounders,
Yeah.
rim protectors. Like, yes. So I think that could restart us looking at this Knicks team like, okay, we play a certain way. We don't hunt the 3-point line. We don't, hunt bad shots. We're not playing up and down the same way all other teams are playing. We have a style that we play, and that's how we're going to play. And we looked great doing it last night. I think that last night should let Tibbs know, like, okay, I can go to this.
Right. And before we move on, and we have legit depth. Now you got Deuce, you got Josh Hart. Like I said, Campaign playing great coming off the bench. So, it's remember when Shannon come back, that's a shooter that you could plug in and get a few minutes just to see if we could get some big 3-point shots. But we can't gloss over and just not say last night we knocked down shots. Simple and plain. We was on fire. Do we expect that every night? No. But we knock down shots. And when we knock down shots, we one of the best teams in the NBA. And we're one of the most exciting teams in the NBA. So for me, I think Tom Thibodeau, and we said this many times, Fleet, before the season started, Tom Thibodeau's gonna have to coach a masterpiece for us to be successful.
1,000%.
Simple
This
and
is on
plain.
this is on the players, but he has to come through like the coach that everybody says he is, like the coach that we say he is, and come through and step outside the box a little bit. Get a little uncomfortable, nigga. You could
Right.
be a little uncomfortable. That's okay. That is okay. So I fully expect us to continue to build on this, right? Now we could go big, right? We didn't know that we could go big before. Now we could go big. So I like the fact that we could do that, and we just build from here. We was getting ready to segue real fast because there was some other games on last night. Warriors got thumped by 50. Warriors got thumped by 50. Steph Curry had 2 points last night.
Played 20 plus minutes.
26 minutes last night. Draymond Green has a fat ass donut across the board.
19 minutes.
First game for Dennis Schroeder as a Golden State Warrior.
Look, he already said, "Get me out of here."
And they got beat by Memphis, who I said, OG. Remember I said
wrong.
it? Remember?
I was wrong.
Number 3 in the West right now, OG.
Listen,
They look good.
You and Fabian was very adamant, and me being a typical all ball idiot.
Nah, you the GOAT, OG.
No. At this point, I'm wrong. Minnesota might be the real deal. If they can stay healthy,
Memphis.
I'm sorry, Memphis. The Grizzlies. But give me my props. Did I not say Ant-Man is going to come back?
Yes.
Because remember, SGA and I'm sorry, Ja. SGA and Ant-Man, while Ja was out, they took that limelight. That was supposed to be all Ja Morant. And that young man came back with vengeance. But you and Fabian, but you for sure, I got to agree, you was dead on with the Memphis Grizzlies. They are legit.
They're a legit team. I love that coach over there. Taylor Jenkins is with the shits.
They love him.
They love him.
him.
He's with everything. He's with everything. Look, that team reminds me of like a college team. Same thing with OKC, right? They all play for each other. They all look like they're having fun out there. They're young. They play carefree. They play defense, all that type of stuff. They don't seem Ja doesn't seem like he needs the spotlight outside of all those other guys, right? Triple J, you know what you're gonna get from him, you know what you're gonna get from Bane, right? I like the team. And now they're fully healthy with all of their guys back, right? And they find these diamonds in the rough. Who the fuck knew about Jay Huff? Where did he come from? Somebody tell me where Jay Huff came from.
That great GMing, great scout
great
people.
Scouting like that. That's what you do. Go find Brandon Clark is back. Bring so many different guys for them. Come off their bench. You could start so many different guys. It's seamless over there. I like what they're doing, and they beat the shit out of Golden State last night.
Boy, yeah, because we're gonna get on that. Pause. Everybody in the chat. Yes, OG was bugging. I was dead wrong. Listen. My brother Flea tell y'all when I'm wrong, I love to admit I'm wrong.
That's a fact.
I listen. I was dead wrong, man. I did not see them being as good, but I forgot all those years that they was 1, 2, 3 seed. What stopped them was injuries. I got caught up in the hype.
Ja gets hurt.
Right. Remember, but I got caught up in the hype, Minnesota, and you know what I mean? And I lost sight. But I was dead wrong. Memphis is the truth. But before we get to that, no. They not gonna duck this smoke. Golden State Warriors. I said this last year and people laughed at me. Curry, last night was proof. It's time to go. You did your job there, bro. If you got 2, 3 more years in you, get up out of there. Now, where should you go? Yeah, where should you go? I don't know. Don't go to the Lakers and team up with LeBron. No. Where should you go? I don't know. But Flea, let's talk about Golden State for a quick moment because that was embarrassing. You have some considered the greatest point guard ever. Some people really will argue us down that Draymond Green is better than Dennis Rodman, and they lost by 50. They started out the season playing very great basketball. Now we knew with that roster you wasn't gonna be able to sustain that. Because the league is too talented. And it's but so long, Paul, so far you're gonna get away with a average roster being the number 1, 2, 3 seed. That is gonna catch up with you. But let's talk about Golden State. Some of the moves they made. You get rid of Clay. You keep Draymond. It still seems like Kerr don't know how to coach Kaminga. Last night, put yourself in Steph Curry's shoes, man. Um, how long can you keep getting embarrassed with the Draymond antics? We gonna get on his ass for that triple donut. He ain't even have a triple single, a triple donut
Garbage.
for the most talking this shit player in the world.
Garbage.
Flee,
That
yes,
was at
Steph
the
Curry.
crib too. They was
Flee,
at the
yes,
crib. That was in Golden State.
exactly. Flee, yes, Steph Curry. Please, what's your thoughts? What's your thought process right now?
I think at some point, like that whole darling Steph Curry shit, we gotta stop that shit. Like at some point, we gotta throw his ass in the fire too a little bit and let him get a little dark skin, right? You know, he can't run around looking like you for too long. Y'all niggas walk around with that light skin. We need to throw you in the cooker and let you get a little, just a little tan, just a little more, because
Little dirt under your nails,
just a
man.
little
Yeah,
dirt under your skin.
they manicured 365, 24/7.
Just a little bit, man. We know you a God-fearing man. We know you a great father. We know you one of the best point guards ever. But let's call a spade a spade. You are about to be put in a really, really tough position. And I wish you would like be honest and start talking about it instead of running from it. There's decisions to be made, Steph. So what you're telling me is Steph Curry is gonna do the Kobe, Dirk, Tim Duncan type deal and stay with one franchise until he retires. I can't see that. I can't see that. He's got a lot left in the tank in terms of just being a great shooter. Like, let's just say he's not the best player on the championship team anymore. Okay.
So hold on. LaToria B. I'm repping for the light-skinned brothers. Listen, I'm not only the president, I'm also a client. Listen, I'm going to holler at him after the show. I'm going to let him gloat and
Later
have his
on.
moment.
Later on.
Because Curry is in my top 5 light-skinned brothers of all time, but
Gotcha.
it's rough for him right now, so we got to fall back and let Flea cook. Go ahead, Flea.
But, I mean, like, in terms of, like, conversations and, you know, because it's nothing else you can do, right? 4-time champion,
right.
multiple-time MVP.
Right. Finals MVP.
Finals MVP.
Greatest three-point shooter, greatest three-point shooter of all time. Not even close.
Your resume is flawless. So I don't think there could be anything done to put chinks in your armor. But in terms of like continuing to contribute to the game of basketball, why is it out of the realm of possibility that he could be somewhere else besides Golden State? Why? Why could one Splash brother not be in Golden State, but it's sacrilegious to say that Steph Curry can't move on? Like I don't see how that's feasible. Y'all not gonna be good going forward. Y'all not championship caliber anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah, that's way over. Y'all not even championship caliber. Y'all not even playoff caliber at this point. Let's really call it what it is.
You're a playing team. Right. At best. Right. So I think that who we are, because we are part of the media now too, OG, whether we like it or not. Right, there needs to be. We need to start these conversations.
Right, it needs to be a discussion.
Start getting people in his ear. Yo, Steph, what up? What's going on? Nothing is gonna change. I don't give a damn what y'all do. Y'all could go get Kevin Durant again, and y'all wouldn't be championship caliber.
Nope.
I'm dead serious. Y'all could go get Kevin Durant again.
Hold on. Big shout out. Bones got busy. Like they said, man, hit that like button, share, like, subscribe. Please, y'all, hit that like button.
Yes,
but go ahead, Flea. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying that there's always a time when the window closes, right? and I think the window is shut at this point. What else are you going to get out of this team? What?
So, I want to talk about something that, I was very determined and adamant about. And for some reason, adamant, I don't know why that word is on fire tonight with me. I don't know what it is. But this is karma for what they did to Klay Thompson.
Mm.
Um, it I'm not saying Klay Thompson was gonna be the Klay championship Klay, but you don't do that to him. He was just as important as Draymond and Curry. Klay Thompson should have retired the Golden State Warrior. Simple and plain. And Curry and Draymond didn't do anything about it. I feel some way about that because he's one of my light skinned brothers in the top five. It's me, him, Curry, Devin Booker, and Chris Brown. We gave y'all Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is dark skin. Now y'all gotta have him, right? But
How do you have Chris Brown?
listen, it's a light skin thing, brother. Mind your business. Mind your business. You ain't got nothing to do with this, right?
Chris
Listen,
Brown is a part of it?
yeah. Listen,
God,
man.
I'll let
He
it.
could he could sing, he could flip, he
He
could
can
rap.
flip, not dance. Not that he can flip. I ain't heard a
He can
nigga say
play.
he can
He can
flip.
he can play sports. Listen, and the ladies love him. We got Chris Breezy on our top five, man.
I ain't gonna fight
But
you.
right.
You ain't say nothing about Drake. I know you
It
didn't on purpose either.
yeah, man. Listen, man. We trying to send him to y'all, and we trying to get Kendrick on our side. Kendrick is
Nah, nah,
borderline light
nah,
skin.
nah, nah, nah.
We'll discuss that another day, right? But all seriousness, Klay Thompson was just as important to the Golden State Warriors as Curry and Draymond in the way that they let him walk out the door. Now, I'm not saying he deserved super duper max money. Great point, VINYC.
Great point.
That was that. That's the first time that a team that said they was light years ahead of people, that was the smartest franchise ever, didn't take the best player in the draft at that point. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question, because I don't think this gets talked about enough. Wasn't it after that pick that Bob Myers left? Why isn't anybody talking about why Bob Myers decided to step away from the Golden State Warriors?
It's a good
Why is
point.
that not talked about? You built a dynasty over there,
It's a fact.
and you just say
You literally built something that when we talk about the Lakers, the Celtics, the Bulls, you got Braun and Miami Heat, San Antonio Spurs. Golden State is in that conversation when it comes to great. Yeah, that's a great
how
point, Flynn. I,
how
I
is
think
that
we have
not
to do a show
talked
on that
about?
one day, right? I don't understand, but that's my point. Golden State is going somewhere that nobody understands. Um, you got the best shooting backcourt of all time, and you just let Clay go because you didn't want to pay him, but you give Draymond Green his money. Listen. This is karma, and you made a great point. Why do Curry is not having a Tim Duncan San Antonio end of the year, end of the career run? Let's not forget Tim Duncan at 37, 38 won a championship.
But they won a
They was
championship within the last 3 years.
okay, right? But we see now it's just totally dismantled. Like
Right.
right now, I don't even see them making a playoff, let alone getting into the play-in. Like they're playing bad basketball. They're a bad basketball team. I don't see how they're going to come back from this. Um, so for me, you know, you made a great point. Why do we why do we think Curry has to stay with Golden State? Especially if you have 2, 3 more years in the tank playing at a high level. If they can't surround you with the right players, because let's be for real, he would tell you he plays for championships. I'm pretty sure Steph Curry's not going to tell you I'm playing just to play. He still wants to be great. He still wants to be relevant. He still wants to win. If Golden State can't do that for you, what is he to do? Because they are
O-
horrific, Flea.
OG, imagine him as a hired gun for a team that needs shooting, for a team that's right there on the cusp of championship, and we just need somebody that knocks down shots, can move without the ball, an extra ball handler, and we could have Steph Curry.
Bro,
imagine and I don't know
watch
what
this.
team that is. I
No,
don't. But
watch this. Imagine Curry in Milwaukee instead of Dame Lillard. My point is, Fleet, it's the same situation. You loyal to a fault. You did your job. Imagine Curry somewhere, because he's still a superstar. He still can be the best player, let alone, okay, with the second best player, but he still can play at a high clip.
mm-hmm.
Like you said, imagine him going somewhere with the right tools around him.
And just be a shooter, just be a guy and I'm not saying like Ray Allen or Miami, but even like Ray Allen and his role in Boston.
Boss, right.
Right. Like even the role in Boston was a lesser role than Milwaukee and Seattle. You know, he was a guy that you can't leave open, and he's going to give you 18 to 22 a night. Imagine that somewhere on a team that is right there. Right there.
Well, last night was very embarrassing. I'm not going to blame it all on Steve Kerr. I think that, he gets some type of blame because I'm pretty sure he has some say-so with the front office.
Mm-hmm.
And just the choices they've been making ever since they won that last championship against Boston is just mind-boggling. I don't understand. Like I said, what y'all did to Clay, y'all deserve everything y'all get at this point because y'all did him dirty. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all did him dirty for no apparent reason. He had a rough season. Cat so quiet a rough season, and look what Minnesota did. Revert right back to Knicks rehab. And now look. Y'all get rid of Clay, look at him in Dallas. So for me, I don't know what Golden State is doing over there, but you cannot lose by 50 and Steph Curry being considered the greatest point guard of all time have 2 points. This man is being embarrassed night in and night out over there. When you look at that roster, please, me and you was in shape. We might could get some minutes over there.
I wish, man. I wish I could get a couple tick over there.
Listen, we might could get 7-8 minutes over there.
I need some tick, man. What?
Put me in. Let me commit 2-3 fouls.
Right.
All right, sub me out, coach.
Lindy Waters. Y'all not about to play Lindy Waters over me. If I'm in shape, nah. But they gotta do something. They gotta do something over there. They have to shake something up. Going and getting Dennis Schroeder is not the move. Dennis is a good player.
But Flea, remember, let's even go back a little bit before we move on and close out the show. Like even when they got Chris Paul, remember everybody was like, "What the hell? What?"
Right.
So I'm like you said, Bob Myers left, and it's like y'all just turned into Wizard of Oz with the guy without the brain. It's like y'all just.
You know who the GM is over there now?
Walton?
Dunleavy.
Mike Dunleavy Jr.
Yeah, Dunleavy Jr.
How did he get that job?
Look at his name.
We just gonna go somewhere else. We gonna move
I know.
But it's a great segue because we're talking about the greatest 3-point shooter of all time, and we're gonna close out the show with the NBA is a mess right now. They saying the ratings are down. I can attest. Some of these games is hard to watch. It's like watching bad high school games sometimes. Like these are professionals and just watching. There's no sets. There's no plays being ran. It's just grown men running around shooting 3-point shots. Lately, the last couple of days, there's been complaints, and now we're hearing it from Adam Silver. We're hearing it from LeBron and other players. Now everybody's complaining about the 3-point shot, saying that it's ruining the game. Flea, I have to get your opinion on this. How do you feel about the game today? And did the 3-point shot now get out of control?
I'm an avid lover of the game. I love the game of basketball. Like you said it, can't nobody tell you that you don't love the game more than anybody else in the world. Like I share those same sentiments. Nobody can tell me they love the game of basketball
right. Can't tell me nothing
more than me, right? Like that's competitive, right? But
Right.
to be honest with you, OG, and I'm be so honest, and I ain't been here as long as some other people when we're talking about just being able to watch the game. I'm 37 years old, but I will say this: this is not the game that I fell in love with. This is not the game that I grew up watching and wanting to play, wanting to be like I'm on the screen wanting to be like these guys that I'm watching. It's very, very different than what I fell in love with. I'm not gonna stop loving it because it's just the game that we love, but how these guys approach the game of basketball and how the game is played is just not something that interests me anymore. I like talking about it, but I'll be honest, being stuck. We got League Pass. All three, we locked in now. We can watch any game that we want. And some nights I choose not to. You said it last night. You was like, back in the day, there was a time where if you missed a night of NBA basketball, you felt left out. Like you didn't go, damn, I missed the club last night. What happened at the club last night? Yo, it was popping. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
bro.
Right?
And with no YouTube, you can't even rewatch or do none of that.
Right.
Yeah,
Like you feel like you felt a certain way back in the day. Now, if I do miss a night of NBA basketball, I don't feel too bad. I don't feel too bad at all. Um, we've gotten to a place where it's more of a numbers game than it is actually the game, right? The analytics have kind of taken control. And analytics are good. They have a use for them, right? They have a use, but it can't be paramount to what's going on out there in the basketball court. Mathematically, is three more than two? Yes, OG, three is more than two. But a 3-point shot in transition when it's a 3-on-1, there's only one defender back, and we got numbers, and we're running to corners for threes, or we're stopping in transition, pull up three, instead of running for layups, dunks, getting easy shots. Again, that's not the game that I love. I said it last night. I'll say it again. I'll hand it off to you. At one point, to be a basketball player, you had to be able to finish right hand, left hand. You had to be able to finish with a bump through contact. That was necessary to make a team. Now, if you cannot hit a 23-footer, we don't have any use for you. And I think that's dumbing the game down because there's so many other things that you could do on the basketball court to make you a good ball player. Because you can't hit a three, shouldn't say he's not a good basketball player. I think that's dumb.
yes, yes. Big shout out Turbo. And yeah, Turbo, you're correct. I seen what BJ Armstrong said. But Flea,
I brought that up the other day
yeah,
while you was out.
yeah. You're 100% correct. And for me, um, I agree with you. Can't nobody tell me they love basketball more than me. Like, and for me to like some nights be like, it don't even matter if I watch the game or not. Just imagine how many people feel like that. When you're watching these games, it's bad basketball. When you're at a professional level, it don't supposed to be bad basketball night in, night out. Okay, you may get some games where people are struggling. But when these guys are shooting 40 plus threes a night, imagine two teams shooting 35, 40 plus threes a night.
Charlotte Hornets and the Bulls had a game the other night where they missed the most threes in NBA history in one game.
Come on.
I mean, they missed like 75 threes or something. That's just this. It's embarrassing
That
at this point.
that Fleet, that's more than embarrassing. I don't even know what to call it, but it's like, but it starts with the head. Pause. Adam Silver. Um, Kenyon Martin and Charles Barkley said something years ago, and you attested to it. Analytics. Yeah, analytics is good for the game, but it can't just be 100% analytics. And that's what they've done with the game. They are teaching. I was in Vegas. I seen some of the high school games. I watched it with my own eyes. They are teaching wide open layup. No, kick it out for the 3-point shot.
Bad. That's bad. That's
Flee, you
not basketball.
and that's what they're doing in the NBA. Bruh, our Knicks, I think about a week ago, we watched a sequence to where we put up about 7, 8 just bad 3-point shots in a row. and three-four of those was off of offensive rebound. And it's like, it's just bad basketball. And I don't know how the NBA is going to fix it, how Adam Silver is going to fix it, because and somebody said in the comments also, the refereeing is horrific. They let you carry, they let you walk, they don't call 3 seconds no more. Just some of these fouls and flagrant fouls is out of control. The games is longer now because they gotta replay, they gotta look at everything for another 3-4 minutes. Um, the load management, a Fleet, it's just so good, Fleet, because there's just so much wrong with the game
I
right now. It's
just, I just,
ridiculous.
I thought about the sequence that you was talking about in real time, and that sequence we talked about the Knicks where we went up and down. We took a three, and I think the other team took a three. OG, literally, the ball never went below each 3-point line. So it went from
Right.
3-point line to 3-point line. The ball never touched the paint. It only touched the paint to take it out of bounds. To take it
Listen,
out. I'm looking at the sequence you're talking about. It never touched the paint. The guard never tried to get in the paint, and it's
yo,
frustrating,
yo,
man.
like, really think about the game now to the point where th- they took our positions. There's no true point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, a guy like Rajon Rondo would have a hard time being in the league with that basketball IQ and that like we got to really think about that.
New Orleans picked up Elfrid Payton for a week. In the week's time, Elfrid Payton had a 21 assist game. In a game, he had 21 assists. Two
Means
days later,
nothing.
2 days later, they waived him.
Get out of here.
2 days later, they waived him, OG.
Fleet, when was the last time you seen a point guard, a la J Kid Magic, whoever, Rondo, come down, drop it off, and when the last time we seen that? And I'm not talking about you getting it, you getting the ball off a deflection or steal. No, I'm talking about where the big man get the rebound, passes it to the point guard, the point guard does what he does, and gets a guy wide open layup. This is not basketball. I don't know what this is, but it's hard to watch. And it's 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 weird that now you got guys complaining about it, right? Um, because you got the big dogs complaining about it now. And they starting to realize, you know, if you want your name cemented with them big dogs, legacy, the Kobe's, the Mikes, the Magics, like, bruh, this era, this little bit of time is gonna look bad for a lot of guys. I'm sorry, because this basketball is tough to watch. At this point, it's tough for me to watch Luka Doncic, bro. Like, Luka is Charles Barkley with a 3-point shot, where he's dribbling the ball for 20 seconds, he's holding the ball, and then he's going to step back and shoot a 3-point shot that, even though he makes it, it's a terrible shot. And that's all throughout the league. That's all throughout the league, Flea.
I
Everybody
think,
think they can shoot.
yeah, I think they're overthinking the game of basketball too. I think the NBA is completely overthinking, and Adam Silver is in this bag of just trying to be. I don't know if there's a word called over innovative. Like, he's trying to be too smart. Like, nigga, we know you smart. Like, you don't have to do too much to complicate things, right? Like, we've got used to playing, right? When that started, it was like, what's this? But it's here now. We
Right.
enjoy it. We've bought in. The last 2 years with this
The cups, the cup.
in season tournament, right? It's like you're showing ways where you're open minded about things, but the product on the floor itself ain't good. You could do all the cool fly shit all you want. The shit ain't good. What we're watching every night is not good. And to be honest with you, like it starts with a lot of us. All of us grew up watching the NBA, which in turn spilled over to us going to the park and saying, "Yo, I'm Jordan today, and I'm Patrick Ewing today, and I'm Bird today, and I'm Dr. J today," right?
Yo,
These guys are not playing great basketball for these kids to now aspire to be like.
yo, Fleet. I'm gonna say something that's gonna be a little weird, right? But the game is missing a Kawhi Leonard, bro. Think about what he brought to the table: the mid range, the post up,
Mhm.
the pace,
Mhm.
the defense. Like, and I'm a Kawhi fan when he's on the court, right? I don't know injury. I'm not a doctor, but that's a whole. We ain't gonna get into that. But I'm really sitting here thinking the game misses that type of basketball.
Mhm.
And for me, Flea, you said something that was just totally spot on. These teams is telling players, if you can't shoot the three, we're not even picking you up. So now you have it, guys at 6'10", 6'11", they got to get a handle and be able to shoot the three to have an opportunity to play at the next level. So don't care that they could be great defenders or great shot blockers, or they could, average a double-double, 10 and 10, put you on the post, get guys wide open. No. We
Mhm.
need you to be on the perimeter, be able to razzle dazzle or knock down a three-point shot. Okay, cool. But everybody can't do that. And what makes it dangerous is, like you said, them analytics. You got guys going, well, he shoots 39 or 40-some% from the field, but they be getting, were thumped by 40.
Beat the, Orlando is the worst 3-point shooting team in the league, and they still gonna put them shits up. We got a nice sample size of we don't shoot the three well. Is that something you could work on as a team? Cool. But go get away from that. Imagine how many more games you could win
Hey,
if you.
Flea, you played. Why not just step in and knock down the two shot if your three is not working? Now, if you on fire, I get it. But if you miss three, four, five, six, seven threes, you're not gonna never take a step or two in. You're not
Take
gonna
a,
pump fake and you're not
what
gonna get to the line.
what your pops used to say to you. You miss a long shot, take a step in. Get a little closer. And as basic as that sounds, that's just common sense. The long ball is not dropping right now. Let's mix it up a little bit. Just a little bit. So
Yo, man, before we go, I'm gonna just say this. The the game is so bad. Brooke Lopez is now a three-point shot taker.
you read my mind. You must be reading my mind over here. I
That's how
looked at
you know
Brooke.
we locked in. Go ahead.
I looked at Brooke Lopez's. I just looked at his career. Just looked at because if anybody doesn't know, Brooke Lopez is the leading scorer in Nets history. The Nets history. He's the leading scorer, right? So I was just looking at Brooke. I was like, how could he be the leading scorer in history with so many great guys to come through that franchise? So I'm looking at a couple times he played 82 games and stuff like that, had a couple double years and shit like that. But you look at his 3-point shooting percentage. That's what I wanted to look at. And there's a couple 20s in there. There's a couple really, really low percentages. And then after his time in LA, you start seeing 33, 34, 35, 38. You start seeing the percentages go up, yes. But he's completely different player now. Completely different player. And I don't want to say that that's bad because it has preserved him. He's been able to stay around for a long
Right.
time and still keep getting paid. But for the typical 6'10", 6'11" guy out there who can't shoot it like that, but has great feet and could just dunk that motherfucker, he probably thinks that he's not a good basketball player because he can't do what these other freaks are doing. It's just,
Yeah. So now you got a guy like that working on something that's not his game. So then when he make it to the next
yes,
level, he's struggling and now he can't
yes,
stay in the league.
you are so right, OG. That's it
Hey
right there.
man, great show. We gonna end it on that note. Listen, man, All Ball TV, my brother Flea Fabian, Knicks Rehab, man. Listen, the chat, love y'all. Hit that like button, share, like, subscribe. Everybody have a great weekend.
Yes, sir.
We see
Happy
y'all next
holidays to
week.
everybody.
Yes, yes, yes. Everybody that celebrates the holidays, happy holidays to you and your family. And everybody have a great night. If you're in New York, stay warm. Keep the windows closed. Keep that heat on. My brother Flea, man, always a pleasure.
I'll talk to you this weekend, OG. My guys.
Good night, everybody.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.